The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, today presided over the third edition of the 2025 Ministerial Press Briefing series at the National Press Center, Abuja. The session featured the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, and the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, who provided updates on the progress and key achievements recorded under their ministries. This briefing underscores the government's ongoing commitment to transparency and accountability.
5 honorable ministers have taken the stage to present their scorecards to Nigerians. As I have previously emphasized, each minister will, God willing, have this platform to engage directly with the media. This initiative, spearheaded by the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, underscores government's commitment to transparency and accountability. It serves as a platform to keep Nigerians informed about ongoing policies and programs of the Tinubu administration to ensure that citizens remain actively engaged in the nation's governance process.
Now, I'll talk about education. The several challenges that we met, but some of these numbers are now better. We have about 60 million Nigerians between the ages of 5 and 14 years old. Of these 60 million Nigerians, 45 million of them are learning poor. What do I mean by learning poor? That means a child that belongs to this 45 million within the category of the 45 million people cannot read age-appropriate tests at the age of 10. We have one of the highest burden of children that are learning poor in the country. And we also have an unviable record of having the second highest number of children that are out of school in the world. We need to know our problems so that we can put strategies to clearly and meticulously address these problems. Of these 15 million people that are out of school, 50% of them have never been enrolled in school. 5% of them are dropout, and 25% of them belongs to the emerging category. And there's argument back and forth if the emerging are really out of school, because they go to school, but they're just not getting Western education. But we have clear strategy on how to take numeracy, literacy, and vocational skills to these Nigerians. Also, looking at a girl child, the female population, we have 20 million adolescent girls today in Nigeria between the ages of 12 and 19. 6 million of those young Nigerians are out of school. And with a fertility rate of about 103 births per thousand, we have our population is projected to rise in the next 25 years to 400 million. We have to sprint. Today, we have clear strategies on how to do this, to address all these challenges that have laid before Nigerians. We've come up with clear agenda under our Nigerian Education Sector Renewal Initiative, with clear strategic goals, which is moving our nation from a resource-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. We have that capacity. Nigeria has a unique demography in the world, very unique. Good demography that we need to tap. We have a population of 220 million people. Of these 220 million people, 70% of that population, they're below the ages of 30 years. But vibrant, youthful population dynamic population, eager to learn, eager to work, making changes, both in Nigeria, globally, and globally. So what do we need to do as a government is to equip them with the skills that they need. And that's what we're doing exactly at the Ministry of Education.
We also had to visit Boeing on the invitation of Boeing. Boeing invited Nigeria because they carried out a study in Africa and they said the next big thing in Africa is Nigeria. That's an official study by Boeing. The next destination of business in Nigeria in terms of its potential to expand more than where it is now is actually Nigeria. So Boeing actually invited us. We didn't go and even hustle to be there. They said, please come and visit us in the US. We have a couple of things to discuss with you. So we were in Boeing, and one of the outcomes of that visit was an MOU that we signed with Boeing. The MOU covers a lot of areas of cooperation, some of which have taken off already. Aircraft acquisition, safety practices, and other critical aspects of the aviation industry. We signed an MOU with them. And since then, we just didn't sign an MOU, an unworkable MOU. The pipeline has actually matured, and most of these things have started to yield fruits. Since the MOU, Boeing has been here. It's a very long, set of things we plan to do with them, including an MRO. Eventually, they plan to establish a full-blown MRO in Nigeria, maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility. Now they have taken off. Last year, they were here to train most of the pilots in some of the private airlines. And that's why I said it's one of the policies we have adopted. It's not for the benefit of government itself, but for the benefit of the ecosystem and the private operators, which we have deliberately decided to support. They were here to give them technical support free of charge. The MOU says free of charge, just to support the ecosystem in Nigeria. They've trained a lot of their people, technical people, pilots, their engineers. They brought their personnel here on their own bill, and remained here for so many weeks and did this training for us. Now, not only that, they were impressed with another thing that we did. Last year, if you remember, we said we were about to sign the practice direction on the Cape Town Convention. It was in the pipeline last year. We had not signed, and we had not seen the effect of that signing. But I'm happy to report to you that after our last briefing here, the Vice President of Nigeria actually superintended over the signing himself, as approved by Mr. President, as the head of the Council on Ease of Doing Business, PBEC, the Presidential Initiative on Doing Business, Enabling Council. The Chief Justice of Nigeria actually directed the Federal High Court to look into our concerns about the inability of Nigeria to fully comply with the terms of the Cape Town Convention. We met that on the ground. It has been there for more than 17 years. Nothing was done. And that convention, I've explained over and over, you all know, has to do with a country's capacity and integrity in hiring aircraft, in leasing aircraft, and releasing those aircraft when there's a default. Because these are very expensive equipment they take across the world. And they want to make sure that each jurisdiction conforms with the Cape Town Convention so that the ease of leasing and retrieving this aircraft will be harmonized all over the world. So Nigeria was not in that committee of nations that were deemed to be compliant with that. And what was the effect on that? Because this is not just all grammar. The effect was that our local operators have been going out to lease aircraft on very expensive terms. And that is what you see in the high ticket prices too, apart from the issue of Forex. The high ticket prices, it was an issue of policy. What it takes to lease one aircraft under the wet lease, what they call the ACMI. They come with aircraft insurance, crew. That's what ACMI, aircraft crew insurance and everything. They come as one package. You are not allowed to take your internal crew, your own insurance and everything. And those are very expensive, wet leases. It is 3 times more than what you used to take, you get a dry lease. If your country is fully compliant with the terms of the Cape Town Convention, they will see your country as safe enough. So instead of going to buy brand new aircraft or lease under wet lease, you can get, look, if a brand new aircraft costs maybe $50 million, some type, $100 million, some type of aircraft, you can lease, instead of going to spend so much money, you can lease up to 40 aircraft.
The ministers highlighted significant strides in the aviation and education sector, emphasizing the positive impact of ongoing reforms. The government remains committed to driving progress and ensuring that these initiatives translate into tangible benefits for Nigerians.